Okay, hello everyone. My name is Laquan Williams, and today in this subject slash topic, I'm going to be talking about what shows are actually left on the CW to watch now. The reason why I'm stating this is because for the last couple of years, the CW has lost a lot of shows on there, and they're basically all DC superhero comic book related shows, which have been very fun and entertaining, especially with the crossovers. But the sad truth of the matter is, a lot of these shows aren't on the air anymore. Even their big, huge show staples like Supernatural is gone, and Supergirl. They've been on for years, especially Supernatural. That's been one of my favorite shows. I've watched every season, and it's sad that the show's gone, but it was so much fun from the beginning to the end. And now a lot of these other shows are no longer on the air, but a couple of new ones are coming up here and there. Recently, the last year in 2019, they saw the emergence on the network of the CW with the Batwoman show, which had Ruby Rose in it as Batwoman, aka Kate Kane, but she's gone. She's no longer on the show. The TV show now has somebody else taking over for her, and the person playing her is not playing the character Kate Kane, but still playing the superhero Batwoman on the show. That has gotten the second season. It just happened a couple of days ago. I don't know how long that's gonna last, but and also this show right here, which is going to be the brand new superhero show on there, which is Superman and Lois Lane, which will see the Man of Steel Superman, aka Clark Kent, and Lois Lane together, basically trying to live not a normal life, but live a life, and obviously what will be the effects of this show after what happened during the Crisis on Infinite Earth crossovers that they've had, where they just introduced them, and what's going to happen with Lex Luthor and Supergirl and whatnot, which they will probably see them in the crossovers. We'll probably see them happen in there, and Supergirl's still going to be there, and I believe Lois Lane Lex Luthor. It's Superman and Lois Lane, but Lex Luthor will be back in some type of capacity. But this website, which is KryptonSite.com, it's a fan website. They're stating that a 2-hour premiere for the show is going to happen, and this is because this is what has been advertised by the CW. This is what they wrote the article about. This was actually January 17th, a couple days ago. So it stated that during tonight, when Batwoman happened, which was 2 days ago, there was an advertisement for a 2-hour premiere for Superman and Lois, which is going to happen on February 23rd, the same night that the new season premiere of The Flash is going to happen. Some people are stating if that's actually going to happen, or if that's just a 2-hour premiere, basically as a form of false advertisement. It's not going to be. It'll be an hour and then probably about 25 minutes, but for the most part, the rest of that is going to be advertisement for other TV shows and obviously other regular ads. It's not just going to be 2 hours specifically only, unless it's 2 episodes. It could be 2 episodes, or it could just be an hour and a half of the first episode and the introduction to Superman and Lois, basically the backstory of them all, and obviously what happened to them during the Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover with the Green Arrow, the Black Lightning, and the other superheroes that happened, like the DC Legends of Tomorrow. That they had a couple of those, and the last one, the most current one, was where they introduced for the first time Black Lightning with the rest of the Green Arrow, the Arrow universe, the Arrowverse, and also obviously Superman and Lois Lane as new characters. And they did have a crossover. They had past actors from the Smallville show appear in the episodes as well. So the network is trying to find out exactly what this means. Well, they are trying to find out, but they reached out to the network. But basically, what is happening is the CW doesn't have that many shows that are going to be happening for the next couple of years. The reason why is because a lot of shows are no longer on the air anymore. The Green Arrow's gone. The Flash has 2 more seasons max. So does the I would say probably Batwoman. And we know DC Legends only has 2 more shows, 2 more seasons as well. Then after that, what do you have left? The Green Arrow's gone. Supergirl is gone. Black Lightning got canceled, and they are in their last final season, which is season 4. You can see right here on Variety. This was November 20th, 2020. Black Lightning is going to end after season 4. 4 seasons in total on the CW, so that's going to be over in February 8th, and then February 8th is the premiere, it's going to be over in March. That it's going to run about 4 to 5 weeks, and then that's basically it. So that's going to be gone. So you have all these shows leaving. So besides Superman and Lois Lane, what else are you going to have? So new shows besides this are Batwoman and, I mean, the Green Arrow and the Canary show didn't get picked up. There's not going to be a John Constantine show because the CW networks executives decided that they weren't interested in it. Just like they weren't interested in the Green Arrow and the Canaries. See? The Green Arrow and the Canaries will not happen. It did not get picked up. They made everybody wait for a year who was a fan of the show and the Green Arrow show to let them know they're not moving forward with it. There has been no explanation, and there isn't going to be one because they don't care. The CW is not going to explain themselves because they don't need to. They don't feel like they need to. The same thing happened with another one, John Constantine. That show is not going to be picked up for a second season / reboot on the network. This was in August 4th, 2019. Matt Ryan, who plays John Constantine on the DC Legends show, who also played him on the NBC show in 2015. It was one season. It was 13 episodes. It got canceled. I watched the whole thing. I got the DVD on Blu-ray 2.5 years ago. They finally released it. It was probably about 3 years ago. NBC waited out a long time to release it to everybody. It was like they didn't want to, even though they canceled the show. Myself and everybody online was like, are they going to release it? So many people were mad. It was a huge uproar because Constantine is a very big cult classic superhero / occultist and a man who obviously dabbles in the dark arts, but they decided to hold out and wait for years to release it, and they finally did. But basically, after they canceled it on NBC, he should have his own season on the CW. But guess what? He has his own show on the CW Seed. It's the Dark League of Justice, I believe, and it's a CW Seed show. SEED, Seed, like you plant seeds in the ground. That show is obviously not on TV. It's an animated show, so you can't watch that unless you watch it on the CW Seed, which is online, or the app, because it's not regular. It's not on the regular CW show network where it airs. Just like the Green Arrow and obviously the other shows, it's an online show because it's an animated show. He does the voiceover, if I'm not mistaken, but this isn't a reoccurrence of the second season, which all the other characters in the show would cross over into. That took place with him on the first season. They would bring all those people back, but it looks like they're not going to do that on the CW. Will he be picked up by another network? Could be HBO, maybe. I don't know. I hope so, but I think it's pretty weird because they're like, well, we have him on DC Legends, so he's here, so we're using him here. So there's no reason for us to give him his own separate show. But in the event that he's taken out of the season, in the event he's taken out of the next season or the show in period, they should give him his own show. But that looks like that's not going to happen. And it looks like more shows are just being let go and canceled by the CW, and there's not that many left. I mean, what else is there left? And I'm trying to see. Well, there's Stargirl, there's Super Man and Lois Lane, and obviously Batwoman. But some other shows are going to be gone. Like I said, Black Lightning has been canceled. It's in its last season. There are going to be 2 more seasons of The Flash and the DC Legends show, and that's going to be it. And then we don't know what's going to happen with Stargirl and obviously Superman and Lois Lane in the event that those shows are gone. In the event those shows get canceled, what's left? So I'm trying to figure out is what will happen in the next 2 years, since the Green Arrow and the Canaries is not going to be picked up. Black Lightning has been canceled, and they're not doing a John Constantine show. They're not going forward with it. And they're not going forward with the Green Arrow and the Canary show. And Black Lightning is going to have a spin-off that's going to be called Painkiller, which is based off of the character Cleo plays on the show. The character Cleo, he's going to have his own spin-off show called Painkiller. That's supposed to happen probably before this year's over. Is that going to be interesting for people? Are people going to be interested in that? Because it's not going to be Black Lightning. The other characters on the show will be on there some type of capacity because it's going to have flashbacks, and there's going to be a bunch of collaborations, obviously, with possible crossovers. We don't know, but Painkiller is going to happen, but Black Lightning is going to be gone. So what happens after that? So it's a big, huge question mark of what's going to happen. So that's basically what's going to happen with the CW. Last couple of years, a lot of shows have been obviously canceled or no longer gone, or they just decided to end the show finally. with some of these shows based off of how the actors feel that they don't want to go forward with it, or if it's possible that the network has decided that they don't feel that there's no interest to them to continue with the show because they might see it as a waste of money and also time. But we'll see. But picking up some of these shows to them is looked at as a waste of time and money as well. But it's really weird because the Green Arrow and the Canary show had a backlight pilot. They had multiple episodes to show you about every single character and to learn the story about it. And it was supposed to take over for Green Arrow after Green Arrow was done because Oliver Queen obviously died multiple times and he finally died. And they were supposed to have his daughter Mia Smoke take over for him as Green Arrow, but that's not going to happen. So now there's lots of vacancies and voids that need to be filled at the CW because they don't have a bunch of shows on it there anymore that are no longer there. Like I said, Supernatural, Supergirl, Green Arrow, Black Lightning, they lost all those shows in the last year. All 4 of those shows, they're all gone, and they're not getting that. They're not putting any on that are new besides, like I said, Stargirl, the Superman and Lois Lane show, and obviously Batwoman. 3 shows, but we don't know how long they're gonna last. It's a very big question mark, obviously, to see what happens. But based off of what I've seen in the last couple of years, it depends on how long they decide to keep a show. Black Lightning could have stayed on a couple more years. Some people are stating, ratings weren't that really good, so they had to let the show go, which I find that very odd and strange because if you go look at the Supergirl ratings, that show's been going down the drain in ratings for the past 5-6 years since it's been on. Since the first season to the last season, the ratings have been going further down and down the drain, which is odd, but they kept it on the air for years and more or less 7-8 seasons, but Black Lightning couldn't get another couple more seasons. They could have kept it on a couple more, but they just decided that they weren't interested anymore. The ratings dip to them was justifiable and getting rid of the show because they probably didn't feel that it was necessary to keep it on anymore, which is odd because now they're stating they're going to have a Painkiller show, spin-off show, now that Black Lightning's done. My understanding is what I believe is they should just have kept Black Lightning on for a couple more seasons, then give Khalil his Painkiller show, or after the Black Lightning has its 4th season finished, introduce Painkiller's backdoor pilot in the second to last season of the show, and then you can give everybody an understanding of what's going to happen. That's what they did with the Green Arrow this last season. They gave us a backdoor pilot into the Green Arrow and the Canary show. They could do that with the Black Lightning with Painkiller, but they're not going to. It's just going to be Painkiller is just going to come out months after Black Lightning is over, and you're just going to be surprised to see what happens. But who knows if that still happen because things will change, and the CW decides to just change randomly and cancel shows, and they have no explanations given at all. Constantine doesn't get his own show on there, but he's still on the DC Legends show, even though he already had his own season on NBC. But they could revive it because when DC Legends is not on the air, the Constantine show could be on the air in its place. But that's not going to happen. So I have no idea exactly why they decided to cancel these shows and not give any explanation. But they feel that they don't need to spend their time and money and resources, obviously, on these shows. But all the actors and actresses wasted their time doing multiple episodes, introducing these characters, working hard to introduce all the characters on the Green Arrow and the Canaries show, which takes place in the future, years and years after Oliver Queen is dead, and he's obviously no longer being the Green Arrow because he's no longer alive. But Felicity is alive, but she's gone, and they need to find her. And then after they find her, she obviously disappears and goes to stay with Oliver permanently, and obviously chooses to die and go to the basically the heaven or the afterlife, basically. But that's what's happening. I don't know exactly why these shows don't get picked up, even though they're introducing these characters for multiple episodes and they're putting lots of time and effort into them. Then it's a waste of time. It's really weird. Then they just decide to not pick them up. So, but that's what's happening with the CW. What else is left? Obviously, new shows obviously are going to be the Superman and Lois Lane show, which is going to happen in another month. They got Stargirl, they have Batwoman, and they also have still the Flash and DC Legends. I don't know what's going to happen with any new shows happening after that because I can't think of it. But besides the Painkiller spinoff, who knows what will be introduced? I don't know, but we'll see. But hopefully, the 2 hour premiere is for Superman is going to, and Lois Lane is going to be 2 episodes instead of just one half-hour episode. But it's possible it could be just 2 episodes, but we don't know. It could go either way. It's very unfortunate, but a lot of these shows they just don't get picked up in the end, even though you think it so. I would have thought the Green Arrow and the Canary show was going to be picked up, but it wasn't. But it's not going to be. Yeah, it looked like it was, but it's not going to be. So we'll see what happens though. But that's all I have to say in this video in regards to the DCW, basically, or the DC comic book shows on the network on the CW. It's just weird these shows don't get picked up after they put all this time and effort into these characters and multiple episodes, crossovers, and they're even doing time travel, and they're going back and forth, and people are dying and being brought back to life, but yet in the end they don't pick up the show. It's really weird, but that's basically all I have to say about this video. Thank you for watching, and if anybody wants to comment and let me know how they feel about this, if they're a fan of these shows, or if they're a Marvel and DC fan, or a DC fan specifically, what do you think about these shows, and why they weren't picked up, and how do you think that they can be played out in the future, and what other networks can these shows be put on? It's possible Netflix and Hulu. I mean, that's what a lot of other shows are doing, but or HBO Max, possibly. That could be possible. Some shows are on there, but we'll see what happens though. But that's all I have to say in this video, and hopefully things change, But because Black Lightning was one of my favorite shows, and and the Green Arrow too. I was watching obviously Green Arrow first, but it's okay that it went out with 8 seasons, but last couple of them weren't that good. But you don't want it to end, but that's just how it is. But I'm really surprised what happened for Black Lightning to get canceled. It could have had 2 more seasons, 6 seasons, and then that's it. I would have been happy with that, but just randomly cutting it out of nowhere after the CW just first introduced the Black Lightning characters and the universe, the CW universe, on the show with the crossovers, because all those characters haven't interacted before. They just introduced them, and now they got rid of it. They just did the crossover last year, and now they got rid of it. So that's what's happening. Well, the most recent crossover, the Crisis on Infinite Earths, obviously, the most recent crossover they just had last year in 2019 was the first time they had Black Lightning crossover with the Green Arrow and the Flash and Supergirl, and obviously the other characters, and they also the superheroes and characters in the Arrowverse and also in the Flashverse. And then they also first introduced the Lois Lane character and the Superman character, which you see here, the new Clark Kent, aka Man of Steel. Just first introduced them all last year, and now they're cutting the Black Lightning and all of those characters out of the equation. So that's what's going to happen. But we'll see what happens, obviously, in the next couple of years with the CW. It's very unfortunate that lots of these shows are not going to be picked up, probably never. But we'll see what happens. But thank you for watching, and I'll see what happens with these, and I'll make more videos in regards to discussing this. Thank you for watching. Bye.